Your time, go time now.
Hello. It's good to be back. I had a good weekend.
Yeah.
Today's a really special stream, so I'm really excited about today.
Not nervous.
Yeah, not nervous.
No anxiety on her.
No anxiety. No, I don't have anxiety. What's that?
Not nervous laughter. Ha ha ha.
I don't ever laugh or be nervous at
True.
nervous laughter stuff.
Never happens.
Anyways, it's good to be back after the weekend.
Yes.
I'm Hazzie Self, as always. To the left is my amazing partner, Nord, aka Nordic Monkey. Say hello to the stream.
Hi to the stream.
And today is stream number 389.
Wow.
Better believe it. Yeah, can you believe it? We're just like marching right up to that 400 mark. Like, I can't believe it. That's like really exciting. Today's a really exciting stream. We're still gonna do like our Geeky Talk segment. So I'll like go over generally what we're gonna be talking about. And I have made it, the topics for today are gonna be heavily focused on what's going on for our showcase today, which is Terminal Conflict.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited. So today we're gonna be talking about, for our Geeky Talk segment. We're just gonna kind of go over. So Terminal Conflict is the game we're gonna play today, and we are showcasing it for the Indie Game Collective Showcase.
Mm-hmm.
And sorry, I lost my train of thought. And so we're gonna talk about on Geeky Talk, before leading up to playing in the game, we're gonna talk about some Cold War stuff.
Also, in conjunction with.
And also in conjunction with the Strategy Informer. Look up this. I will be bringing up the strategy informer a bit later in our talk. So we're going to talk about some Cold War stuff. We're going to talk a little bit about war games. I don't know if any of y'all remember war games.
You gotta remember war games. Come
when
on.
I saw Nord playing a little bit of the Terminal Conflict, I just kept thinking about war games.
Oh yeah, you really get a strong vibe.
Yeah, it kind of has that like strong like war games vibe. But I mean, it's Cold War era, so, you know, war games happened in, like, 83, so...
You know, it's kind of funny, because, like, you'll get, like, some games that, like, focus on Vietnam.
Yeah.
And maybe a couple of things that happened in the Cold War era, but in general, you don't get a Cold War-focused game.
Yeah, this is the first time I've seen one.
Like,
I think there's another one out there, but that I've heard of, but I don't know anything about it.
It's not a major area that's covered. I remember Hearts of Iron 2, I think, had an option to play up till 1964, but that's still pretty early.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot more Cold War after that.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk more
Almost
about
30
that.
years.
We'll talk more about that when we start talking about the game. So after that, we'll talk about war games. Then we'll talk about who we're showcasing this for, because we're doing it for the Indie Game Collective, also for in cooperation with the Strategy Informer. Yeah, I'm really excited about today's stream. Also, I would like to promote some people, which includes the Strategy Informer, also Two Nerdy Birds, because that's Jade's and Ren's site, and they have a great site, and Jade has kind of taken us under her wing, no pun intended, and
oh my God.
And it's been really awesome working with Jade and being friends with her. She's a really awesome, amazing person.
Me and my dad over dinner.
Oh my God.
The three of us.
Oh my God. Thank you so much for the follow.
Thank you for the follow.
It shocked me.
Ever since you changed that to be our follow audio.
Oh, I put, you know what I forgot? Today is not Friday.
Oh my gosh. You still got a happy Friday.
Yeah.
I mean,
I said it was Friday. Happy Tuesday.
Absolutely, SJ Gold. It is 2 minutes to midnight.
Yeah.
Let's see if we make it.
Yeah. It's Friday in my head.
So you did switch it from emote chat.
Yes, I did.
I mean,
did.
that should be obvious. He said something.
Okay. Yes, I did. Okay, and then, so we'll go over all that stuff for our Geeky Talk segment, and then we will jump in and we will play some Terminal Conflict, which I'm really excited about. So, yeah, like, I don't feel like you said, I don't feel like there's enough, like, Cold War game. I haven't seen any. I think there's, like, one, but I don't know anything about it.
Well, and it's cool because this is another option for you to kind of get involved to a degree on a grand strategy, because we played
Oh my God, thank you so much for the
Thank you for another follow.
Cheers. I appreciate it. I hope you're having a lovely Tuesday, not Friday, because we thought it was Friday.
One day I will get used to the fact that you made that the new audio for it.
Thank you so much.
Cheers.
So yeah, so the first thing I wanted to do is like, okay, so you are the history buff.
You could say that.
I am not. And I want to say that I think the reason you are kind of a quote unquote history buff is because of like the strategy games you play. Because I was scared, like I'll be honest, especially the grand strategy games like from Paradox, like EU4, those are very like intimidating to me. And so I was kind of like I did, and I'm not interested in history. So I kind of was like, those look intimidating.
You did get into CK3.
Yeah, and then I got into CK3, and I'm like, okay, I get why you were interested in history and you were playing strategy games, and like strategy games kind of leads you towards that. So wouldn't you say? So like I kind of get it now, and I have this like appreciation of why you like strategy games. I still am intimidated by strategy games, to be honest.
Honestly, when I first got to playing this one, I was intimidated.
What was your first strategy?
Okay, so
like
turn-based,
like one of your
turn-based strategy game was Civilization 2.
Oh,
although
okay.
I just played a very, very little bit of Civilization.
I was thinking it was Hearts of Iron 4 was your first one. So I guess not.
That would have been 2. Was the first Hearts of Iron I played, but they had a World War One mod for Civilization 2, and I played that, and then I played the World War II Civilization mod, and I was like, oh man, imagine if they create a game about World War II.
Yeah.
And then eventually, that's when I found some others. Obviously, there's Axis and Allies, but I mean, board games.
My first
they're
foray,
expensive.
My first foray into strategy games, though, I have to say, was Risk. And like after like playing Risk with you, I just kind of like, no more. I got so mad playing Risk. I know Risk is really simple compared to like all the other strategy games that you've played, but that was my first experience.
When we were in Iraq, we took a big piece of plywood. We painted on it to make various countries, and we made it into a Risk board. Yeah, and I got to play all of like 3 games, and then people banned me from being able to play Risk.
Really?
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
But hey, whatever. Anyways, yes, as SJ Gold brings up, East versus West, the canceled Cold War Hearts of Iron based game. That's true. They did have that. They also, as we were talking about, some of the expansions on Hearts of Iron 2 went all the way to 1964. So kind of covered it. But yeah, it's really an underused area of time.
So what do y'all remember about the Cold War? Because I feel like it's like this huge, like from the 1950s to like the end was like 1991. So like, and all I remember is very general stuff. Like so I'm 41, so I'm old enough to remember a few things. Like I remember. At what? In
the movie? We watched
War Games.
We rewatched War Games last night to be prepped up.
Yeah.
And what's her name? She played, her character is Jennifer. It's Ali Sheedy.
She played
Ali
Sheedy. She played the weird
he's
girl
41.
in Breakfast Club.
Yeah. He's 41. He's old. So see, you're old now.
I know.
You're old.
I know. But I remember.
We have it on Ali Sheedy's saying right there.
Like well, thanks, Nora. Now I feel old.
Hey, I will officially be old in May.
I guess that's true. But so here's what I remember about the Cold War. So since you're the history buff, I'm just gonna kind of do the generalized what I remember. Because like one of the things, did y'all ever do like the drills where you had to get underneath your desk?
Yeah. Because going to school in Spokane, we had Fairchild Air Force Base.
Yeah.
Right there, which had the I wasn't Air Force, I was Army. So I'm gonna say bomber fleet, but it's probably like bomber wing. I don't know what their language is and their nomenclature. Anyways, they had the B-52s that were supposed to fly up and drop nukes.
Yeah.
And so we were a major target. And then because of Hanford nuclear site in eastern Washington as well,
Yeah.
that developed a lot of nuclear weapons and stuff. So we were a major target. So we did a lot of Cold War drills.
Yeah. I remember that, but it was so long. Like, it feels like it was so long ago and very short period of time in my life, since like I was like, like it was over by 91, so I was like 11. I was 11 years old when it was, so I don't remember like a whole lot of it.
SJ
But
has a different experience. Oh, wow, I'm 51, and we never had to do that in New York or Florida.
oh, really?
Well,
yeah, we did it.
To be honest, though, we were a little behind the times. When you first moved up to Spokane, we were still doing like hammer pants.
Yeah, I was living
like
in
5
Texas.
or 10 years afterwards.
I was in Texas at the time, so yeah, I still remember doing it. And then it kind of I remember it just kind of fading out.
Yeah.
So I don't really know. Like, I remember doing it a couple times, something like that. Anyways, I also remember. So I remember there was tension when it came to like Soviet Union, United States.
Yeah.
Even though it's weird because like we were allies in like World War II. But I do like get the sense that the United States had like some suspicions because of Stalin and communism and all that kind of stuff, and they were kind of concerned that the Russians were going to like expand and take over the world, specifically maybe even communists, because like
they had the largest and most powerful military, at least ground based at that point in time, and so yeah.
And then I also remember like, okay, so there was also like what's considered the arms race. So we like were stacking up like nuclear weapons, right? And remember, you add in whatever, because I'm just going off what I kind of like generally know.
As a generalized
I'm
premise,
not a history buff. I'm not a history buff. Okay, and then not only that, so like I guess we built like the atom bomb or something.
Yeah,
and that kind of kicked off this arms race with the Soviet Union. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, remember we've discussed this before as it related to Japan. So Japan had originally been trying to send out surrender requests, and they were turned down because no, you have to include getting rid of the emperor. However, when and they said no, that wouldn't work because we need to maintain some level of stability within the country so that it doesn't collapse.
Yeah.
And then when the surrender was eventually accepted, it didn't require getting rid of the emperor.
Yeah.
So we dropped 2 nukes for no reason. That's just my perspective. Send hate mail to me.
Nordic Monkey, Hazzie didn't say nothing.
Anyways, so yeah, we used nukes, and a lot of people, a lot of historical figures.
Oh my god, thank you so much for the follow.
Thank you for another follow.
Seriously, thank you.
So many viewed that as a message to the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
anyways,
okay.
August Storm, something that we don't really talk about in World War II.
You're like adding so much that I did not know.
Okay. I will stop. I will stop rabbit holing.
I know that you can.
I realize. I just got started on a rabbit hole.
For today's Geeky Talk, I just totally wanted to like geek out on the theme of terminal conflict, which is why we're going. If you've just like walked in, this is why we're going down this little bit of a rabbit hole about the Cold War era. I only know general stuff. Nord's really got as obviously all this like little information about.
Honestly, Spokane, it was terrifying. Like as SJ Gold's bringing up, that's got to mess with your head as a kid. It totally did. So I remember like expecting to be vaporized at some point in my life.
Yeah.
And so it was just like, so what can you get in before that happens? Like, what are you going to be able to enjoy?
Yeah.
And, when things started changing in 89 and then 91, I was pretty young, but it was still, it was still an impactful time. Like, I remember when everything was kicking off with the first Gulf War and stuff.
And then I also remember the space race. So like Sputnik gets put into space.
Orbit.
And then like I remember Americans were like, "Oh my god, we can't let this happen." And then I guess it was Explorer 1. Is that what happened after? I can't really remember. I just remember the space race stuff happening though.
I am not good with names.
Okay.
So,
well, I know that
yes.
happened. And then we had the space race happen, and that's that happened. And after that, there was also like the Red Scare, So we had the because this is like a huge time period. Like I
Yes,
can't
no,
even believe
covering decades.
like 50s into 91.
Which is why
So
it's kind of incredible to see so much in one game.
yeah. So with McCarthyism, this is where like everybody was like accusing people of communism. Like
Yeah.
I guess it started in Hollywood or something,
That was a big focus,
and
and
then
a
worked
lot
its
of the
way.
people, a lot of the political people that had organized a lot of the stuff with the New Deal for FDR ended
Yeah.
up becoming accused because a lot of those were borderline socialist policies by the way that they were termed at the time, and a lot of those people, they fell on the bad side of the witch
So
trials.
when it started in Hollywood, it just kind of worked its way into the government. Is that into
Yeah,
like the
I mean,
federal employees getting accused?
Joseph McCarthy and the others that were working with him did a fantastic job of portraying anything that wasn't extreme capitalism as being evil,
Yeah.
and they were all about rooting it out. That that would have been a time to be alive, but
And then there was like, and then the next thing I remember, see, like I remember all this, like this is all this stuff that I can just generally remember. Then there was also like the human miss. This is like huge time period. So many things. There's so many like interconnected things, and I know like worldwide, other things were happening because of this.
Yeah.
So like, because then there was like the Bay of Pigs invasion and the Cuban Missile Crisis. That happened.
Which was brought up because of us putting nukes in Turkey.
And then it kind of and then also Vietnam. I almost forgot about that. How can you forget Vietnam?
No,
right?
this is just a little thing.
So Vietnam happened, and then when Richard Nixon was like president, I guess it I don't like he was pushing policies that were like a little bit more chill. I don't like
So
that's I don't know really.
That was a two-part thing.
Yeah.
Number one, Henry Kissinger had a big influence on the Nixon administration.
Okay.
And he had a viewpoint that because we had a bipolar world, it would be very important to bring in new poles.
Mm-hmm.
And so China would be one of those.
Okay.
And then possibly a strengthened European, possibly even European Union would be another one. So that there'd be multiple different sides vying for power.
Yeah.
So that it wouldn't just be this one-on-one superpower conflict.
Yeah.
Anyways, that also helped to finally start getting rid of some of the embargoes and stuff like that. So there was a lot that happened with that.
Hey, Strategy
Mill. That's so impressive. You guys have such extensive knowledge. No. Yeah, Bay of Pigs. You know things are bad when there is bacon involved. Or they're good. They're real good.
Give me bacon or give me death. That's all I like.
We just got a smoker this last summer.
Yeah.
and our kid made his first rack of ribs that he had ever done.
It was delicious though.
He's a teenager. He's like, he'll have nothing to do with us, but he was so happy. He's just like, taking pictures with us with his rack of ribs that he made and everything. Anyways, yes, for the bacon.
Yeah, this is our Geeky Talk. We usually the first half an hour to an hour, we usually do a Geeky Talk where it's just basically a casual like geek out session for me and Nord.
Mm-hmm.
And we really wanted to get into like Cold War. I feel like I just know very generalized stuff, and I know Nord's got like all the details, which is why I'm kind of just going over a timeline really quickly.
I wouldn't say all, but...
Well, you don't know all
I have a lot of
you know
interest
more
in it.
details than I know. Like I can't even remember. I knew that Richard Nixon had something to do with like a more chill policy, but like I didn't think about Kissinger and I don't really know a lot about Kissinger.
It's funny. I'm not defending Richard Nixon as a person, but the policies that happened in the Nixon era are some of the best things that happened in the States within the last 5 decades.
Really? That's funny because everybody I know,
everybody
like,
hates
dogs
Nixon,
on
but
Nixon.
I'm just saying.
So, like,
if you like the
funny.
EPA, you know.
Did you guys know that he actually founded the EPA? Nixon, that is. Yeah. That's Nord's told me that multiple times. That's the only reason that I know. Like, which is funny because I wouldn't have expected that from Nixon, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, it's because it was the response to political power.
Yeah.
Or people power. I mean, as we should really term it.
Yeah.
Like there was a lot of active involvement. Like I mean, I'm a war veteran. Personally, also a more peace-minded one.
Mhm.
But when you look at what came out in those peace movements that were against the war in Vietnam,
Mhm.
like that was terrifying to a lot. And they did some amazing choices, like making it so that there's no draft. So now everybody is more willing,
Yeah, I know
in
you're
a
a
way.
lot more peace oriented, but I feel like that maybe that wasn't the case until like you went to Iraq.
Oh yeah, my
When we
experiences in Iraq definitely colored that. Anyways, Yummy-san, is fun times happening? Yes, they are,
Yes,
Yummy-san.
yes, we're geeking out, Yami.
We're just
It's
we're
our geeky talk segment right now. We're geeking out about our knowledge that we can. I'm trying to remember about the Cold War in general, and Nord's providing more details.
Mhm.
And so that's what we're doing right now. How you doing today, Yami? It's good to see you.
But yeah, you're bringing up Nixon. Like, while there might have been ulterior motives behind it, being able to build things up with China
Yeah, yeah,
rather than increasingly backing China into it as well,
yeah, yeah.
that's helped. You know, if you looked at it under modern standards, Reagan today would be seen as a hippie.
You think so?
At least in his disarmament
It's hard
policies.
for me because like when I was growing, so my grandparents raised me. When I was growing up,
Mhm.
my grandfather didn't like Nixon, but
Yeah.
he was like, you know,
Well, he was an
he was a
FDR
true, yeah, he
Democrat.
was true blue like Democrat until the day he passed.
Well, specifically an
So
FDR one. Like
yeah, yeah, that's
that's
true.
to the left of
But
anything.
he you know, like a
Reagan.
lot of people don't like Carter.
Mhm.
And my grandfather, even though Carter was not popular, he was like, yes, Carter is a great president, and yeah, like he thinks it's unfortunate some of the stuff that happened.
Carter's presidency took place at the same time that other bad things took place
Mm,
that ended up landing on his lap. You know,
yeah,
it's the buck stops here,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that's how it went. But no, I'm just saying because of Reagan dialing back away from the laser program. I don't remember what it was called. I'm good with names,
Lasers,
but space
lasers.
lasers. Anyways, standing by the START treaty, which also that was a Nixon thing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, like if you look at
But
this
it's
with the
just
things that we're doing with our nuclear stockpile right now,
yeah.
we are way more pro nukes, pro war than we've been. It's scary.
So Yami said so. Nor's providing first person perspective of the Cold War.
Yes, SDI. Oh my God, thank you both.
Yes,
Strategic
Yami, you're
Defense
right.
Initiative.
He is.
I almost said SETI, the Search for Extraterrestrial Life, or Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, and I'm like, that is wrong. That is definitely not right.
That's not right.
That's definitely
That's
not the right,
right.
and
No, no. And then
not right acronym.
okay, so after Nixon was president, uh
And you,
Reagan came in to
well, you had
and
Ford for a little bit, and then you had Carter, and then Reagan.
and then Reagan.
Mhm.
And so then Reagan though kind of went a little bit harder on that kind
Yes,
of policy.
he was purged the communists in Central America and all that. He was
Yeah. And then like
he was more hardline.
and then I just remember in Berlin the wall came down and then that was like pretty much it. That's all I remember. That's pretty much the end.
I remember so many
Like-
people back then like, I got a piece, you know, and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Or like people were selling like fake pieces of the wall and everybody wanted to own it.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, so
and some of the stuff, all of it, I'm not that, you know, like some of it I don't even know because I wasn't born. But I remember when the wall came down. I remember I remember kind of some of the space stuff being talked about as a kid because I was really young.
mhm.
So I just remember like just these little things about the Cold War, but thankfully I wasn't that old, so it's not like I had to experience a whole lot. You know what I mean?
I remember like growing up learning about how hard we had pushed in the space race.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it was like, yeah, and then the Russians stopped pushing as hard, and then we were like, not worth it now. it was good while we were in competition, but it's just like, where is the space?
I love space, but you know, like I'll be honest. I
I
think
was
it's
promised to live in Star Trek, damn it.
that's the thing. I almost like I really like Star Trek, and I think
Mhm.
that's why I'm just like I really like space, and I really want us to have more space exploration. So yeah, I know what you're talking about. I felt like that too.
Getting caught back up on it. Carter was good with so I think Carter was good with internal policy, but horrible with external. Plus the hostage. Yes, that's exactly what I was referring to. The Iran hostage situation as it happened. Like
Mhm.
that wasn't as a direct result of what he was doing, but it happened under him. It came up right when he was looking at re-election. It just shot any chances. And yeah,
Look
he
at
did
Yami. What Yami
his
said.
external
Yami's
stuff.
funny.
Yes, Nord providing first-person perspective of the Cold War. A little bit. I mean, I'm old,
You
but I'm not
should
that old.
show Yami your shirt.
Well, this is the best thing to come out of nuclear weapon testing. We got some
Is
really...
that why you wore it? Because I kept
Yes.
thinking, like, I was like, that kind of revolves around. I don't know if y'all can see it, but it's like a bunch of like kaiju.
Yes.
Well,
we
and then
got a
there's
whole bunch
like
of amazing monsters. I mean, if you look at
pop culture. Actually, when I think about it, pop culture, like during that time, like maybe the 60s or whatever,
Mhm.
they had a lot of like stuff happening when it came to like creatures because of nuclear stuff. I mean, even though it was from Japan, like
Yes.
Gojira was like you know, a thing.
it was such
So-
a message about the dangers of exploring
Yeah,
this technology,
yeah.
and if used improperly. But yes, they also scrubbed the anti-ballistic missiles. Yes, good point, Strategy Mill. Said he already found you, Nord, because you're out of this world.
That's why I say Yami's
Thank you,
funny.
Yami.
Yami is hilarious.
Yeah, you went from containment to removal. Hasselhoff, this jacket. You know, okay, so Hazzie's name originally, before she rebranded to Mug Club, was Hazzie Soft. And we used to
A
give...
lot of people used
used-
to come in and ask if I was friends with Hasselhoff.
Yeah, we used to get so many Germans watching the stream, and they'd be like, hey, what's up with the name? And I was just like, oh, I was named Hazzie in one game and Safi in one game, so I added them together. And they're like, oh.
But I like Hasselhoff.
Yeah.
Like, I like his music. Somebody told me that he was gonna be in concert one time. This was before like all the bad things that happened with Blizzard. Was gonna be at a BlizzCon. I was like, I have to go to this BlizzCon. Hasselhoff's gonna be there.
Exactly.
But then I found out it was a joke, and I was like, I hate you all.
Yeah.
Like,
Much disappointed.
I was so disappointed. Oh my god.
Aha! Yep. Kaiju, I absolutely love it. Yeah, no, seriously. I'm gonna stump for my favorite movie of all time a little bit, and then I'll shut up. But the newest Godzilla film that came... Actually, it's not the newest now because it's the anime. Anyways, Shin Godzilla, Japanese film, won a whole bunch of awards over there. Just it really
was a
really
good-
speaks to the danger of weapon proliferation, specifically nuclear.
Yeah.
It's a really really good film. I love it. It's my favorite of all
Our
time.
kid is like
The-
the biggest Godzilla fan, so like that's
He was
one of the-
Godzilla multiple
yeah,
years in a row.
Yeah, so yeah, Godzilla's like I don't think we would have really gotten into Godzilla if it wasn't for our 16-year-old
No, he
who
really...
was like really obsessed with Godzilla.
So we took him to the we have a couple comic book shops close by, but one that we have a good relationship with people that own it. And he went in and he introduced himself and he's like, "Hi, I'm Godzilla. I've been in 34 movies." I think that's what it was at the time. And he's like, and then he starts listing the movies that he starred
Our
in.
kid is like amazing memory when it comes to that. He knows the dates, he knows the name of the directors. It's just
He's about it.
yeah, he's all about it.
Strategy Mill, we actually, at the height of the nuclear race, had the ability as humans to destroy the entire population of the Earth 7 times over. The scary part is when they reached the ability to do that one time already. In the meeting, they had a meeting and went, "All right, guys, mission accomplished. Now let's just make more and more and more." Yeah, no, it's mutually assured destruction is terrifying. And like when you look at some stuff, so we watched a couple of YouTube videos on it to just make sure that we're brushed up on it. But like if you look at the amount of aerosols and other things that are injected in the atmosphere, as long as you're destroying enough flammable material and other similar things, like just a
I didn't
minor...
even know that many nukes existed.
Yeah, God, it's insane.
I like what Strategy Mill is saying. Like, I just figured that out recently, and I'm like, that's kind of scary to
Yeah.
think about, you know.
First strikes, retaliatory strikes, retaliatory on the retaliatory strikes, the nukes from the subs.
Yeah.
Anyways,
And Yami, yes,
a small
it
conflict.
was from 2016, I think. Shin
Yes.
Godzilla, yes.
Shin Godzilla.
If
was
you
from
haven't
2016.
seen it yet, it's pretty good. I liked it. I know that there was in the States it was mixed reviews.
Mhm.
So it kind of like I think some people in the States wanted more of like it to be about Godzilla specifically and not really like all the like I guess
There's
political details. I guess
there's
I don't know how to put that.
yeah, there's a lot of discussion in it about uh formal relations between foreign powers.
Yeah.
So I mean, it kind of gets in depth on that. Anyways, yeah, a minor nuclear showdown between Pakistan and India could be enough to bring about at least a mild nuclear winter, which is
Dwayne,
just terrifying.
hi.
But
So
anyways,
good to see you. Thanks for being here. How are you doing today? Thank you so much for stopping by. It's good to see you.
good to see you, Dwayne.
But yeah, so like that's a lot of
So I went down another
stuff.
rabbit hole. You bring me back to where we should be.
We watched also to get ourselves prepared for the game we're about to play. We watched War Games
Yes.
from 1983. So I hadn't seen it in many years. I just okay, so Nord has played some Terminal Conflict before we went live on stream a couple days back, and I watched him play, and I kept thinking like, why does this remind me of like some movie? I think it was like it had games that was about the Cold War time.
You were like Matthew Broderick something.
Yeah. And Nord was like, it's War Games. And I was like, we have to watch it. And we watched it. It was actually a really good movie because like a lot of times those 80s movies, they're not as good as you remember. But War Games was like really good, well written. It was kind of a coming of age movie a little bit, but it wasn't like that cheesy stuff. It didn't like talk down to you. You know what I mean?
It has Matthew Broderick as at age 21 playing a pre-senior high schooler.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, he didn't look like he was an adult until he was like 50.
I'm okay, doing okay. Sorry. Hey, don't even worry about getting off topic because we do it all the time, Dwayne. So no apologies from you, sir.
Yeah. Strategy Mill, so awesome. We did an homage to War Games and the editor. No, you guys really.
Is that why? I don't know. And I looked at it, I was like, why does this feel so much like that movie?
I was just wondering wherever I was going to enter in Joshua.
Yeah. Like, sorry, I'm not Ali Sheedy and Nord's not Matthew Broderick, but
No.
we will try to provide those.
I am not going to shave to try and match it. I have not shaved since 2005.
And we didn't have the budget for Matthew Broderick to be here, so sorry.
And we don't even know what Ali Sheedy's up to.
Yeah, we don't even know what Ali Sheedy's up to anymore. But yeah, so the game we're gonna play today, Dwayne, thank you so much for coming in, is called Terminal Conflict. It is a Cold War era strategy game. And the reason that we are doing it is because we're doing this for the Indie Game Collective Showcase and also in collaboration with the Strategy Informer. So I'm really excited to be playing this game. If you're interested in the game, you can use the command to get the game info. That's awesome. But talking about the Indie Collective, so the Indie Collective is a group of content creators that showcase indie games. Really cool group. I suggest you go follow them. If you want their link, you can also use the command in chat to get the link and check out all their cool information. And it's been a really awesome experience just to be there because I'm like learning about so many games I didn't know about. Like generally I kind of stay up on a lot of games and I really like a lot of indie games, but there was so many I found out like as soon as like I found out about the Indie Collective that I just didn't know anything about. I was like kind of shocked at how many indie games I've missed out on.
Well, not only that, but it's a fantastic opportunity to be able to get some attention to these games that really deserve it. Because I mean, okay, we live in a fantastic time to be gaming. I mean, there's more coming out than we can handle.
Yeah,
as AZ keeps saying, if there's a vampire watching,
please bite me because like
that's
I
the
need
only
to finish
way we're
all
ever
the
going to have
games.
enough time to play the games. We're going to have to become immortal.
Yeah,
the only way we'll be able
to
do our list.
I need it. But yeah, I think are you about ready to start jumping into the game or?
Yeah, I'm about ready. Anyways, yeah. Continue to support the companies that are putting in this sort of work because honestly, you know, whenever you look at AAA titles, they're disappointing for a reason, and the stuff that other people are putting out, these smaller companies are putting out, really breaks through a lot of the barriers that that are put up by these other game companies, these conventions. So go out and try something new.
Oh, and also I didn't put this in for our commands, but please also check out Two Nerdy Birds, because the reason that we're here at all is because of Jade, and this is Jade and Ren's project that they're doing, and they do a bunch of cool articles, and they have a podcast. You can check them out. Jade actually told us about the Indie Game Collective, and that's how we're even like here right now about to play this like really awesome Cold War game.
And based off of our experiences, I'm going to be writing a review. I've gotten started. I've been enjoying it.
Yeah.
And that'll be in a couple of places. It'll be with the Strategy Informer.
Yep.
But there'll also be a review with Nerdy Birds as well. So anyways.
I'll go off on a rabble. Just kidding. Saul on Discord. Hey, thank you for being here, Dwayne. I really appreciate it. That's awesome. I'm glad you stopped by.
When you edit the files for modding, you can actually play tic-tac-toe. Oh my gosh. that is perfect. That is perfect strategy.
That's attention to detail.
You folks.
That's attention to detail. Okay. I like that. I really do.
All right.
Yeah. Indies are consistently more fun than AAA. Yami says. Yeah, I agree. I tend to.
I have been spending more time on AAA titles than any time in a lifetime because of the one out of Korea.
Oh, Lost Ark.
Lost Ark really has me interested. But anyways,
Lost Ark was addictive. That's for sure. Hey, movie! Anyway. It's good to see you. Cheers. How's your Tuesday going? I hope you're having a wonderful day.
And also, hey, Thorn.
Hey, Thorn. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Friday Eve.
Happy Tuesday. Y'all are probably shocked to see us here on time today, but like today is like an important day.
It's like Nord's on time.
Yeah. Usually we say noonish because it gives Nord a little bit more time, but this was really important. So thank y'all for being here today. I'm really excited to be showcasing this game. Only reason I follow the Indie Game Collective is because of Jade as well, and I used to call them Jade Games. I have not been here since last Tuesday, but I am sad to see it. To see it is no Happy Friday. Yeah, I forgot to. When I started, I realized it says Happy Friday. I must really wish it was like Friday.
Every day is a variation of Friday Eve.
Every day is a variation.
Except for the Friday.
It's really just Friday, like what? Eve?
Yes.
Yeah, I have to think about how many Eves it is.
All right. Movie. We are at work today, and I just want to go home. All right.
I'm sorry, movie.
Well, hey, at least you're not
I'm so sorry,
facing
movie.
Nuclear annihilation, but we are.
Yeah.
So
so yeah, it's time for possible world annihilation, and so we should probably let's head over to Nord's game.
So we have roles set up here, because Hazzie's not as into grand strategy games as I am.
Other than